BSSW2A from PPC campus, and today's video I would like to recite my insight learning regarding on Module 4 to Module 6. In Module 4, it's all about the process in helping. The social work literatures often view the helping process and the problem-solving process to mean one in the same sense they speak the same principle theoretical framework. In Module 4, I have learned we have a problem-solving the helping process. It is a method of a process that involves sequences, phases, and application, and the use of necessary social work skills at each phase or the stage of the process. And each phase, the authors identify skills, knowledge, attitudes, as well as the techniques and approaches the worker should possess to effectively assess the client and their respective difficulties or problems. We note that the term of helping process specifies distinctly the elements of relationship as the moving force in effective client-worker. A problem effort in the helping process describes the depth puts much emphasis on the worker's role in the client-worker relationship and the importance of the latter in the problem-solving efforts. And the problem-solving process is a complex from the thought process, which is we using both the convergent, rational, and divergent or creative forms of realistic thinking. We apply the convergent or rational mode by trying to understand the problem, organize resources, and reinterpret the situation by applying a principles that sense of effort offer a promising solution. Such thinking to a determined correct solution that is characterized by direct inflexibility because the individual follow some sort of plan and can either modify parts of plan or the plan itself. And for the problem solving, efforts requires creative or divergent solution. It is a series of plans activity which require the individual to use both the convergent and divergent thought process. And additionally, an underpinning concept of the helping process, the person's environment and interaction transaction. We know time and again that human behavior and the social environment are interrelated and interdependent concept interaction in a dynamic way. We constantly desire and attempt to live satisfying productive life and the constant effort to establish equilibrium between our needs or the demands imposed by our social environment. As mentioned from the previous module, we say that the process of helping the social worker moves on smoothly into two polar ends. The client and his environment. We give attention to the dual and simultaneous function of the profession. That is to promote the natural growth and development of people and to influence the environment to be supportive or grow and development. We give focus on the interface where the coping patterns and the adaptive potential of the clients and the capacity of engaging environment are combined. And for the module 5 is a biosocial assessment. The concept of mental health according to Sands. The states of psychosocial functioning can be viewed to range from dysfunctional mental illness or functional or optimum or optimal capture qualities of positive mental health as defined by individual own capture. Functional refers to the ability to take care of oneself to participate in community life purposefully and constructively. Functional describe impairment of and the capacity to take care of oneself and participate community and includes pattern the destructive of oneself in other. The goal of intervention is to help the person maintain, restore, and improve psychosocial functioning. In this module, Sans visualize with this with an example and description of mental health function. And first is the self-sufficiency skills, social activities, creational activities, recreational activities, vocational activities, relationship, initiative, problem-solving skills, and creative activities. Mental health is a phenomenon of the individual, family, group, community, and cultures and nation. What affect one of these systems affect others. In the individual level, mental health encompasses the expression and management skills needed for survival. Um, Physical encompasses of expression, the management skills needed for survival, physical, psychological, and social dimensions are connected. And additionally, we have talked about the significance of goals within the treatment agreement or construct in our discussion of working alliance. Goals are not simply a vehicle for assessment, but are integral part of the total intervention process and provide criteria against which the measure process and performance. And uh, we have three types of goals that Fox classified. There are number one is final goal, and the second is facilitative goals, and the last is functional goals. The worker should explicite the goals and not assume the clients understand fully what was agreed upon until both of them openly and directly restate the goals. And psychosocial assessment, it is a way of describing clinical work assessment and its particular usage of term psychosocial assessment. The psychosocial assessments of an individual encompasses the various situation context of the person's life. The clinical social worker should have particular or focus on concern with the presence of the illness, injuries, disabilities, and genetic abnormalities that produces stress and on the body and our daily living experience. We are unconsciously responding either positively or negatively to these stresses. Though most of cases we employ defense of reset the impact of the debilitating effect brought about by any physical or dysfunctional. And I have learned that biological assessment is under the domain and expertise of the physician in his medical findings. The clinical social work may inquire from the client and the significant others about significant medical problems currently a physical condition, illness, and the family substance use, eating the sleeping patterns. These areas are important to explore should the social worker sees the clients first, but must refer to the client to the physician for further evaluation. And this is important, especially so if there is need or rule out certain dysfunctional caused by physical factors. It is particularly important for the clinical social worker to determine the presence of physical diseases or conditions that are producing psychiatric symptoms or a behavioral problem. In Module 6, multidisciplinary assessment. So in Module 6, I have learned about the importance of multidisciplinary assessment when it comes in a social work practice. A multidisciplinary team has the resource of diverse specialties, each of which has unique themes through which perceive the clients. The team used the expertise of the different professionals together to make sense of data which are pulled of integrated. Social workers' involvement, the ability to collaborate with the members of the team, It is important in clinical social work practice, especially in the field of health, mental health, child welfare, and etc., where she plays a significant um, role in the working with people from the discipline. For example, is physician, nurse, and psychiatrists, psychologists, guidance counselors, dietitian, and rehabilitation workers, and etc. The social workers need to work in these professionals because each of them have their own unique expertise and approach to helping the client. Through them, the workers is able to promote the more comprehensive understanding of the client and the client system. And I have learned the 6 major components of multidisciplinary assessments, which essentially serve as a social worker springboard for completing integrated understanding of the client's his problem is or situation. The first is medical assessment, and the second is rapid assessment instrument, psychosocial history, psychological testing, psychiatric evaluation, functional and assessment.